All right, Lauren, welcome to the Kerner Report. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing well as well. I wanted to check in because we both go to USC. This is our first semester as transfer students. How's it been? How's it been so far?
It's been really nice. I love all of my classes, and I think that the online learning environment exceeded my expectations a lot.
Compared to what we did at Santa Monica College, would you say?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. What classes are you taking? I forget.
I'm taking a business and professional communication class, a rhetoric in the public sphere class, and then I'm taking intercultural and interpersonal communication.
It's 12 o'clock.
It
Sorry, that was
is?
my
Oh,
computer.
no worries, no worries.
Reminds me what time it is every 30 minutes.
That's really cool, actually. Yeah, I just look at my phone, but that's a lot better way to do it, I think. We're both in Annenberg as well, but you're
Yeah.
doing your communications, right?
Yes.
And I'm in PR. So I'm wondering, like, what do they focus on in communications, or is there an emphasis, or how does that work?
I think depending on what communications classes you choose to take, there's more of an emphasis on the psychology behind communication, whereas PR focuses more on outreach, how to reach an audience, um, kind of more advertising focused, while communication is just, I think, focused more inward, interestingly enough. I know
Mm-hmm.
communication is usually with
Right.
other people, but
And you're saying that it's different and better than what you were expecting. What's that like?
in the beginning, it was difficult to connect with people, but I think in my smaller classes, I had the opportunity to take a few small classes.
Yeah,
I've been
same.
able to make friends easier.
You've made friends? I haven't really made friends. I mean, I made a few, but like not like really. Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. And like we've connected over social media, we are texting, and I don't feel as isolated as I thought I would.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, like I have two PR classes that are like 15 people. I don't know what it's like with comms, but it's like pretty small, and we're able to like kind of like we talk with them like throughout the whole class. I find, but it's nice that way, I guess. Definitely different
Yeah,
than what we're used to at Santa
yeah.
Monica. Yeah. And what's it like being in LA still with this going on? Because I was there, as the audience knows, if you're a long time Kerner Report follower, I was there for a year, and then I came back right as during the pandemic. So what's it like there right now? And have you been to USC at all? Have you been around that area?
I visited USC at like the peak of the virus when I first got in. My brother took me there as a surprise to congratulate me for
Oh,
getting in.
that's great.
It was really nice. But after that, no, I've barely been out during the pandemic. I've been home for the past 6 months, besides like a small period of time where I went back to work for 2 weeks and then the gyms closed again.
Right. Oh, that's rough.
But no, it's been especially with school starting, it's been difficult cooped up in the house a lot. So I've been like really forcing myself to, go on my daily walks, making sure that in the mornings I'm working out and, making myself like good food in the morning, good smoothies, keeping myself awake and revived and rejuvenated throughout the
That's
day because it's so straining sitting behind a computer screen for 3 hours at a time.
that sounds so healthy. because I remember coming up and being like, I'm gonna work out every day. I'm gonna like eat really good. Like coming back, like I gotta stay fit. 'Cause I'm like, I haven't done anything. I've been so lazy this whole time, but it's so good to hear that you're actually like working out and like keeping a commitment, because I'm struggling with that honestly right now.
You know what? It started, interestingly enough, I think this is a nice topic to get into. It started
Yeah.
with TikTok.
Yeah, that is a good topic to get into. Please continue.
It started with TikTok, and at the beginning of quarantine, one of my videos went viral on TikTok,
How viral
and
are we talking here, just so we have a context?
I got roughly 8 million views on it.
It's pretty viral. Yeah.
And so after that, all of my family and friends were telling me, like, you need to make more videos, you need to do this, you need to do that. So I started dancing a lot more, which I missed so much. And when I started feeling better and looking better, it encouraged me to actually start working out again. Because once I left the gyms, I had absolutely no motivation.
Right.
Um, but
Yeah.
now I'm working out more than I did when I worked at the gym. I'm working out every morning and going on my walks every afternoon too.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Have you been doing, I mean, I've been seeing some of your TikToks. They're great. I love them. How many followers do you have again?
I think I'm at 30,000.
Whoo! Going viral. I see you.
It's been at a stagnant 30,000 since I went viral, which was
Right.
months ago. So we're
Right.
not going anywhere anytime
No,
soon.
I mean, who knows? That's pretty cool that you were able to get 8 million for your videos or for a video. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, Also, a big topic I wanted to get into, if we can, well, we can jump back on TikTok if it goes there again. But a big thing I was thinking about is the vibe between NorCal and SoCal it's so different, right? And I was realizing this yesterday, that even though I've lived in LA for a year, I still like don't understand the pop culture and like the nightlife, like go out and party, young adult, I mean, celebrity, like that whole vibe. Because I was realizing my whole thing, my whole understanding of LA is basically Brentwood, the areas I like know, like Brentwood, Santa Monica, Venice, just West Side only. So anything past that, because I know that's where everything is, like, really, right? Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
so starting like, so if you're thinking about like where Brentwood is, it goes from over to the east side. It's Brentwood, Westwood, Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, where all of the nightlife is.
Right. So my question is, what is, when you think of LA nightlife, when you think of LA pop culture, when you think of where the celebrities are, where do people go? What do they do? Where do the celebrities go? Those are just the first three questions I have, because I honestly, considering how much time I've been there, no idea.
Andrew, you should have told me this. I would have taken you places when you were in LA.
I know, but
Well,
I didn't even consider it like then, but like now I'm looking back, especially now that we're in quarantine, and I'm like, I haven't, like, like back then was the time to do it if I could have, but like I just realizing I have no idea, so I need someone to fill me in.
well, we've driven together in that area when we went on a science field trip together.
That was the epitome of my year, honestly, that field trip. I love looking at those saber-toothed cats, the stuffed saber-toothed cats. It was incredible. That was
Yeah,
actually
the
kind of
tar pits
fun.
or something.
That honestly was fun. But yeah, go ahead.
But that area is just a little off from where like the hub of West Hollywood is. So like, I mean, yeah, Tar Pits, La Brea.
Hmm.
You're close to the Grove. You're close to Melrose, Third Street, the Grove. I wouldn't say that's nightlife, but that's like celebrity day life.
What does that
So
mean? That's a whole other thing, right?
yes, it
Ooh,
is.
okay.
Celebrities, as far as my knowledge, during the day, if they're not in Calabasas and if they're more central to like Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, will take their time on Cannon, Rodeo, that's in Beverly Hills, shopping, etc. And then at night, there are a bunch of clubs in West Hollywood. Off of the top of my head, I can think of Hyde, which is on Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood, Nightingale, which is off of Melrose in West Hollywood, and I'm blanking on so many of them.
But there's a few.
There's a few. Sunset Boulevard, especially during quarantine, because like now TikTok stars are considered celebrities. So that strip of
That's a
Sunset,
whole thing, man.
that's a whole nother, see, it always goes back to TikTok.
It always goes back to TikTok. Oh my
That
God. But go
strip
ahead.
of Sunset um, kind of takes you all the way through Beverly Hills, and then it becomes West Hollywood. And I think that's where nightlife is.
Mm-hmm. 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 So that I have a very vague memory of a club that is like, this is terrible. This just shows my lack of knowledge. But it's like Western themed. It's like called like
Saddle
the
Ranch.
Saddle Saddle Ranch. So what the heck is up with that?
It's a restaurant,
Okay.
and a few years, well, not a few years, it's always been like popular because there's that electric bowl there.
That.
So in the middle of the restaurant inside, which isn't accessible anymore, there's an electric bowl that you can ride.
Oh, I thought you said electric bowl.
Yeah, electric bowl.
No, I think it's like a bowl, like a like.
Oh, bull. No, a bull, like the animal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was kind of just like a cool, like different type of place on Sunset because again, everything is so mainstream, clubby on
Yeah.
Sunset, like hotels and stuff like that. So it became like a really just like a cool place. A lot of celebrities, like YouTube celebrities would go there, celebrities would go there. And then now it's just like a place to go with your friends for birthdays, have fun.
Is it kind of like a thing where if you go, you're gonna probably see someone?
100%.
Okay. Okay. Have you
Any
ever
night of the week.
have you ever been?
Yeah.
Have you seen people?
I met Liza Koshy and
Wow.
Deacon Logan Paul that night.
Wait, you met both?
Yes,
Oh my God.
they
How
were
was that?
both there.
Wow. And it's kind of like a is it kind of a place where if you go and is it like the celebrities know that they're gonna get like attention if they go there kind of thing? Or is it
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Paparazzi parked there every night.
Okay. Okay. Do they take pictures of just everyone going in or they're looking for people?
I mean, I I know that paparazzi gets called when certain people show up, but at this point, because they know everyone goes to Saddle Ranch, they're like taking pictures of everyone, making sure they don't miss anyone.
I honestly think if I go there, I just like pretend I was a celebrity. Just no matter if they're taking pictures of me, I'm just like, no, thank you. No, 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 thank you. As you walk
Well,
by or something.
they do that with a lot of girls because
Ah,
they're girls always waiting for people. So they'll like go and interview girls, especially the Hollywood Fix,
what's
like the
that?
teen paparazzi.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
So okay. So the celebs go to Saddle Ranch. That's the only one I've heard of. But they go to other places as well. And it's mainly the bar scene, the club scene, correct?
Saddle Ranch isn't a club. It's
Or
just
okay.
a restaurant.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Yeah, right. Yeah. And you mentioned that TikTokers, do they go to Saddle Ranch as well?
They've taken over Saddle Ranch.
Oh no. This is what oh man, really?
This is what
They've
it's come to.
that's what it's come to.
Yes.
And so what is your opinion on TikTok um celebrities famous off of TikTok? Charlie being on Jimmy Fallon, stuff like that.
Charlie being in the Super Bowl commercial is always what I think
What was
of.
she selling? Was she selling hummus? Wasn't she
Oh
selling
yeah.
hummus?
Was it that? Was it hummus?
I think it was hummus. Was it
Oh.
either it was guacamole or hummus? One of the two.
Listen, she's representing either the Latinas or the Middle Easterns. I'm happy.
There you go. Oh my God. But what is your thoughts of that? What is up with that?
You know, a lot of them worked hard, and a lot of them have to deal with a lot, especially as teenagers, to deal with so much publicity is quite overbearing.
Yeah.
But there are some that I personally look at and say, well, I don't know if they deserve that fame over people who have real talent and can grow with the publicity instead of just in a few
Right.
years no one's going to remember who they are. Like no one besides the people who are obsessed with MagCon, in the early 2010s, no one remembers who the MagCon guys are, and I don't know like where they are right now. And like it's gonna be the same thing with TikTok stars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just checked. It was with hummus. It was a hummus commercial. but my thing is that now they're becoming synonymous with throwing parties, and now they're becoming, the idea of being an influencer, and ideally the level of maturity and, like the as you were saying, growing up into this, now millions of people are looking at you, I feel like it's kind of not handling it well, you know. Did you hear about the parties and stuff like that?
Bryce Hall threw a party. I believe
Bryce.
it's always the Bryces.
It's always the Bryces, isn't it? Stuff like that. What did he throw? Like his 21st birthday or something?
I think so. I think so.
And it became a whole thing because just to fill the people in who aren't as cultured as Lauren and I are on TikTok, he threw it, I believe it was his 21st birthday, during quarantine with no masks, hundreds of people, big party. I think something with the mayors getting involved, shutting parties down before this happened. And then they threw this anyway. So it was kind of like super irresponsible. Tyler Oakley from who's like a big YouTuber was basically saying these guys aren't influencers. They're not influencing the right type of thinking. What are your thoughts on this, Lauren? Do you agree with Tyler?
I love Tyler Oakley.
Yeah.
And I agree with him.
Yeah.
And I think that you bring a really interesting point up that being an influencer is so like thrown around nowadays and given to anyone when, again, they're not doing the right type of influencing.
No. They're under the influence of drugs. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, bad joke. Continue.
Going back to like Saddle Ranch and like all the paparazzi and stuff, you will often see all of these TikTok celebrities walking around and hugging people and meeting people without a mask and making TikTok without masks.
Right now,
you'll see videos of it, and it's so irresponsible. And I don't know what the parents of those kids think when they see those videos, like that it's so unsafe that these people that their kids look up to are not setting good examples. And especially that party that you brought up, like he was canceled. Like the whole cancel culture is BS to me. He was canceled because of that. And I just think that they think that they're invincible because they're famous, or maybe they've had the coronavirus and they think that they're invincible because of that. That's my philosophy. But they have no right to be so irresponsible when there's so many young kids, hugging them, looking up to them.
I honestly think there is a level of responsibility that is inevitable. It comes with the more fame that you get,
Yes.
And I think they handle that so well. And we've seen that consistently, where sometimes they have been good about it. Like there are good influencers about it. But when it comes to younger people, when it comes to, the Paul brothers, what's been going on with them ever since Logan's famous thing in the woods of Japan, you know what I mean? Like since then, that's kind of been like a thing where it's kind of feels like it's a pattern now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I say I agree with you, and that I think with what happened with Logan, no one's going to forget that. And I think what's different about the coronavirus is there's like two different groups of people. There are people who really believe that this is a dangerous thing. And then there are people who really just couldn't care less about it. They think it's fake. They think it's made up. And so that's why there's not a lot of conversation around it, because there's two different sides to it. But with Logan, that was like a complete moral and ethical, like,
right. Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing with Logan, though. After that happened, he took responsibility for it. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like he was genuinely trying to take responsibility for it. And I appreciated that. And I was like, okay, he's understanding that he fucked up big time. Now it's time to own up to that and be a better person. And then his vlogs, and I started watching some of his vlogs, just happened to show up on the YouTube page, watch them. I'm like, this is entertaining. It's different. It's less narcissistic to some degree. And then the COVID hits, and he's like, after his friend who he hung out with like all week, this was like a month ago, or maybe more than that, like a friend he had hung out with all week, Tanner Fox, I don't know, he's another YouTuber. He's like, he calls him and he recorded it on video. I think like good content for the vlog, but he records, he's like, hey, Logan, he wanted to call them. He's like, I just got positive for COVID. Just wanted to let you know. And he goes, sorry, bro. Sorry to hear that, bro. And he's like, I just want to let you know, cause we hung out all week, the past week. And I just want to let you know that you might, what I mean, it's kind of an issue. He's like, oh, I don't really give a fuck, bro. I was like, are you kidding me right now? And then he called Jake and it was the same thing. But like, I'm like, I thought he had it. I thought he was doing good, And I'm like, you know what I mean? It feels like a pattern. The point is, it feels like a pattern.
Because it's all a facade.
It's what?
I feel like it's all a facade. I feel like he only tries to like fix his image when something goes wrong, but at the core he's the same person. And that's with like all of these people. Like, okay, they'll wear a mask in front of the camera, but when the camera's not there, they don't have enough integrity to be good people.
Ooh, that's deep. That's a deep one, Lauren. I think it's true though. I don't think they're able to, I don't think they want to deal with it, because I think like it is a lot of responsibility and they don't want to deal with what that means.
No, and that also speaks to how these people got famous. They got famous because of the way they look or the people that they've associated themselves with. If they earned that and deserved it and knew what responsibilities were coming with fame and were willing to take them on, then they would be positively influencing the community. But when you overnight go viral, there's no preparation to be famous. There's no preparation to be an influencer. There's no, there's nothing in you that really like knows what you're taking on. A lot of these kids are coached, but they're not people who wanted this. They're not people who ran after it. You know what I mean?
You're saying that it's so quick and it's so unexpected that you can't be ready for it.
Yeah. And it's I think it's more than that, in that, for example, people who go on America's Got Talent or people who go on American Idol and get viral in the same way, at least know that they put themselves out there and they put their talent out there to get famous. That was their goal. But these kids who went on TikTok were just making videos. And even though they liked the idea of fame, I don't think they were ever ready for it or ever knew what responsibilities came with it. Right.
I think no one's ready for it when it comes to fame. I feel like I was thinking about this. I was talking about this, I think it was my grandma a while ago, just random, but she was saying that there's like this study of like the 4 stages of being a celebrity, and it like never works out well. You know what I mean? Like thinking about that, like there was a time in my life I'm like, oh my God, it'd be so fun to be like famous. Like it'd be so much fun to have like, to have like the recognition, like a lot of people look up to you, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm realizing in a weird way, I'm like, that'd be like awful, because then you won't be able to like live your own life anymore. You'll be surrounded by people following you, people trying to get to know you. You won't be able to like go to the market. You know what I mean? Like I love going to the market. I won't be able to go to the market anymore, Lauren. Can you imagine that?
Well, I mean, we can also look at this situation that we're both in right now. You can look at Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan has different responsibilities as like a famous podcaster,
right?
Than like Charli D'Amelio would. But he understands the responsibility of what content is appropriate to put out there. And let's say one of your podcasts goes extremely viral. People start listening to your podcast a lot.
Could happen any day now.
It could happen with this video, and we're talking.
I think it will. Lauren, are you ready to go? No. Round 2. Go ahead. Anyway.
But you will have a sense of what you're supposed to do when you get famous. Yeah, obviously no one's ready for it, but you're going to know what content you're going to put out there. You're going to know what type of example you're going to do on and off the internet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a sense of immaturity and maybe excited and, like naivety, naive, like being naive
Yeah.
among these, like young celebrities.
Yeah. And you were saying that they get coached. I don't know about that at all. What do you mean by that?
I'm not sure if like it's a concrete thing, but I've heard from so many people that like these kids get coached by I don't know what their title is, but like by like older like authorities on how to act with paparazzi, how to interact with them, what to do. Well, they're managers. That's what it is. Their managers will tell them what to do, how to respond to publicity, how to respond to certain events.
I feel like that could be like one of our jobs because we're both in like the communications. Like,
I swear, we'd get money.
Yeah. But anyway, so you're saying it's a manager who trains them, shall we say, or something?
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like that's also interesting because these managers, like they could like the intentions of that. I feel like I'm not saying that they're all evil, but like I feel like the intentions could be, like are they doing it for money? Like how are they, like watching these kids, like helping these kids?
If they can get the kids to make money, then they're going to make more money. So I don't think that they're being unethical and telling the kids to do bad things, but I think that they're saying, okay, tonight I'm making you a reservation at Boa Steakhouse because I know Hollywood Fix is going to be there and I know you're going to get views on this and make a TikTok with this. Or a story just came out about, for example, Bryce Hall. And Bryce Hall's manager will tell him, okay, you're not going to address this issue, or you are going to address this issue and it's going to be views. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how they kind of like, I think that's how they manage their kids.
That's interesting. Also, the parents of famous TikTokers are like involved as well. No?
Yeah.
Like with Addison Rae, the D'Amelio family, stuff like that.
Sorry, I got thirsty.
No worries. What do you think about that?
I think they're smart parents. I think they're very smart parents. I know Charlie. I know Addison got famous with her mom, and she's very close with her. They have a podcast now. But I think the D'Amelio parents are very good parents. As far as we see through the screen, like she didn't let Charlie do certain dances that were inappropriate. She doesn't let Charlie cuss or even mouth words that are bad. She's setting up her daughter to be a good influence and to make sure that her imprint on the media as a young kid doesn't hurt her in her future.
Do you think it's so you're saying it's a good thing that the parents are involved, or what about having, do you think they're like it's good that they're involved in the background, right? Being a good influence, but is it okay that they're on the camera? Is it a good influence for Charlie and for everyone else to see the parents in videos?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And obviously it's up to Charlie whether she wants to post that or not. But I think it's good. I think it encourages kids to be closer with their parents, or, to get their parents on TikTok, or even parents to see that content would want to make them closer to their kids. So I think encouraging that like good connection and relationship with parent and child is actually good.
I think that's an interesting perspective because I was thinking of it more as like, oh, the parents are getting famous as well. Now it's just becoming like a whole thing, but I think that's a really good way of looking at it, that, it does encourage more connection and more family growth. I like that. Yeah. So yeah, TikTok, man, that's the way it is. And, so that's, I guess that's kind of answering the question about the vibe between like the LA culture vibe. Is there anything else you want to add on that? Like any other big things that go on, that any festivals as well? I guess that's another thing.
I haven't been to NorCal, so it's hard for me to compare the two.
Right. It's only, just speak to SoCal. I'll I'll do my best. for
Yeah,
NorCal.
you get the vibe down here, but I
Yeah.
mean, festivals, I love music, but I haven't been to a festival myself. I
Hmm.
know that the biggest LA phenomenon festival is Coachella, obviously, which is
Coachella.
in Indio.
How far
Uh,
away is that?
Probably like it's like near Palm Springs, like an hour and a half drive,
Okay, okay. Not
hour
too
and a half.
bad.
And they make the trek there to make sure that they go to this festival every year.
The
That's like
celebrities.
celebrities, kids. You spend like 8 months preparing for this. You get your tickets 8 months in advance. You will pay overpriced hotels, shuttle passes, outfits.
It's 12:30.
There we go. Thank you, Lawrence Timer.
But that's like a cultural phenomenon. That's LA in a nutshell for like springtime. That's what LA is. It's all about Coachella.
So Coachella obviously was canceled recently, right? The last one. And this year it's not looking good as well. Does that seem right?
They postponed it to October, and then they canceled the one in October, and I doubt they're gonna have another one in April.
But it is the thing you go to when it's there. It's the thing you go to.
Yeah.
All I've seen really from Coachella, besides knowing that a lot of music is there, a lot of big people, of course, is that tower. Is the Instagram photos with that rainbow tower, right?
Yes.
What is that? Do you know what that is?
I think that was new. It's like new in the past year or 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's literally every prop that you see there is just another opportunity to take an Instagram picture.
Yeah. It's funny. Do you know Cody Ko? He's another like influencer. He has like, I think it's multiple videos with him and his girlfriend just talking about all the Instagram pictures that people go and post when they're at Coachella, and they all it was like a drinking game or like a eating game where every time they said vibe in the picture they had to like do something.
And hashtag Coachella on Instagram and
It's
just
just vibes. Yeah. No, but like it's really funny. It seems like such a thing that from NorCal we know about it, obviously. We know that it's there. We know it exists. We see people on Instagram all the time there, but it's obviously not as present. And we don't have the same type of thing. The closest, from my perspective, also saying that I haven't been to any festivals up here, but is like Outside Lands. I don't know if you know what that is. It's in Golden Gate Park. It's in the city. And there's like a lot of big people come, but it's obviously not nearly the scale as Coachella.
yeah.
Right.
And I think that the music culture in NorCal is very different than the culture here. Like here it's rappers, here it's those type of artists, hip hop, pop. I'm not saying you guys don't have pop, but I'm saying because a lot of those celebrities live here, and a lot of like the events that or like the club scene here is very like pop and rap heavy.
Right.
That's why like
Well, yeah, the influence is a lot more of that in NorCal and in San Francisco. If you want to like go out and party, you go to like San Francisco and like go to a club. But like it's not the same, obviously, and there's not the celebrity influence. It's a little more low key.
yeah, definitely.
The paparazzi is not really a thing.
Really?
Not really. No, not really. I mean, unless there's like someone showing up, but that's like not common at all.
I feel like your celebrities are like big business people.
Like tech people.
Yeah, like tech people.
Right. And those don't really drum up the paparazzi as much.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh my God, it's Tim Cook from Apple. Like it's not as fun to say that. I don't even know where he lives. They all live in like mansions in Silicon Valley anyway. So
yeah.
One time I saw a Bugatti and that was like a big deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were driving like near the SFO airport, like South San Francisco, past the city, and there was a Bugatti Chiron. and it drove by like really fast, obviously. And I was like, there goes a Chiron. We'll never see that again. You know, like that's like our big, like exciting thing.
That's a
But
huge difference between NorCal and SoCal, because you will be in Beverly Hills eating at El Pastel and see 3 Bugattis on a race, like passing you on Cannon, and it's no big deal.
no big deal. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny in oh my God, PCH. That's where I see a lot of when I was there. That we did that a few times driving up and down near Malibu. That's where we saw the cool cars.
Yeah.
That was cool.
They go driving by there and like up to Malibu, even up to like Zuma.
Where's Zuma?
Zuma Beach is a little past Malibu.
Ah, cool. Nice. But like we saw like some event doors, stuff like that. I was like, oh my God. Actually, like that's like the only experience I've seen with like cool cars.
Yeah.
Besides like randomly seeing some stuff around. But the vibe is very different. Yeah. Yeah.
The vibe. Take a shot.
Vibe, TikTok. Also, just real quick, what other stuff have you been into? Because I saw on your TikTok you're doing some, am I saying this right? Charcuterie boards?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
How is that?
Well, my mom is a very, very talented designer, and she was always known for making really nice platters, that like fruit platters, food. And I started seeing this charcuterie trend on TikTok.
Right.
And so, we had our family friend over for the first time. We hadn't like seen anyone, and my mom got super excited. She goes, "Let's make a cheese board." So I was like, okay. So I made one, and I got addicted. So now whenever I go out to a park and see a friend and we want to go on a picnic, I'm like, I got you. And I make little individual charcuterie boards.
Wow. That's so nice of you. Wow.
Very try to be nice.
Is there like a style? Is there like a way of doing it? Like when you're looking at a plank, when you're looking at a board and you're going, this is my canvas. What do I do with it? You know?
I like how you call me an artist.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty of it is that you could make it whatever you want. Traditionally, it's meats, cheeses, and crackers, but full of jam, honey, fruit. I'll put like basil and cucumber to like chop up all of like the heaviness of the dairy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I started a food channel in the beginning of quarantine too.
Right, I saw that.
So I've just kind of been getting more into that, that like food world.
That's great.
It's been a lot of fun.
I think that's so interesting. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for coming on to the Kerner Report. It was a great time. I want to give you a few, we do this at the end of every episode. It's a few announcements before we wrap it up. So bear with me here. Go follow the Kerner Report podcast YouTube channel for full episodes and TKR podcast clips for clips and highlights. Go to teespring.com/shop/TK Report for the Kerner Report Essentials merch drop. We have some great stuff on there. So go grab some merch and support the podcast. New episodes are up every Saturday. Next week, I'm joined by Mackie, so stay tuned. Lauren, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Woo-woo.